Heard you a snitch, nigga be quiet cause you could get bitched. I keep a chopper, it's loaded. Hop with the rolls, got my name on the curtain. Fucking your thought and I do that for certain. And I stay clean like detergent. Popping on Xannies and popping on Perk. Burn up on me, you get cut like a turkey. I just want this bitch inside of Billy. I'm open no roof, got stars up on the roof. So my freedom.
Hello everyone. I'm just gonna get straight into it. Let's begin. What was spoken from this 15-year-old boy's words was something that no one expected. The brutality, the vicious nature, the devil, this child is truly menacing. This boy, during all the time that he had, he was something else. Shigaraki shuddered at the response given to him, and same with the others. The brutality, in fact, was even enough to make Himiko Toga and Moonfish queasy. Izuku continues on. You see, my suggestion is for you to leave. Because like I said, I will find you. There'll only be more time. Kurogiri, not even taking a second to consider his master's wishes. A portal opens underneath all of their feet, as well as the still silent screaming creature known as Muscular, falling into a portal and closing behind them. Izuku smiles, realizing the fortune. Izuku pulls out a very small device, taps it once, presses a button, plugs it into his phone, and begins walking in a direction back towards the city. They all appear back into a bar. Most of them looking confused, Dobby looking frightened. Same with Toga, twice. Compress. Even Shigaraki. There is fear in his eyes. He tries to call his master immediately. Now, he gives a report of what happened to All for One. And All for One is baffled. Why would he just let them go? During this conversation, Muscular has been knocked unconscious and is being taken to the Nomu facility. But what they did not know is that Izuku planted a tracking device upon Muscular's body. Izuku got a ping when Muscular was moved. And a dot shows where he is, where he was, and where he possibly could be going. Izuku smiles, getting just out of the woods, and using the maneuver gear to pick up speed at a rapid rate, jumping through the trees, using light posts to cross over into nearby foliage. He is going full speed. He is charging down his prey, and he refuses to let them go. An hour later, he reaches to the inner workings of the city, just barely outside of it. He jumps onto a nearby rooftop and begins maneuvering his way through the tall buildings, charging towards his prey's last location. During that hour, police have been scrambled to attempt to find all of the children, which Izuku and Bakugo are missing. How strange. Katsuki isn't even out of his compressed form. Mr. Compress is too... He needs to calm down after seeing what that child did. Toga is creeped out and swooning. She can't stop thinking about him. How devilish he sounded. The way that he walked, with a gait of confidence unrivaled. Izuku, getting to his junkyard and getting in his truck, he begins Operation Sabotage. 2 drones about the size of a human torso exit the left and right side of the truck. Look, as it is still in the junkyard, and flies to the nearby power center. The drones latch onto each corner opposite to one another of the power station, letting off a controlled EMP, destroying the power grid and causing the entire city to black out. Except for one main screen in Town Square in Hosu, every city. In Town Square, one big screen still remains lit, with the symbol of Hydra plastered upon it, and a voice rings out through the speakers, through the streets, through the air horn sirens. And it says this: to all those who listen, to all those who hide, I come for you, unending. I charge at you with no mercy. I will sunder the flesh of your forms. I will take very meticulous work and destroy such vile creatures. Now, there's only a couple things that I can't say. All for one will die. It might not be tonight, but it'll be soon. Don't worry. I'm coming. All with a voice changer and multiple other modifications to where they could not revert the voice back into sounding like Izuku's without any distortion. And just as the screen flickers, only thing that appears on the screens of the town squares, the flag of Hydra, spread out across a wall. Wall, seemingly. No, it's more. It's a screensaver. Strange. But regardless, power gets reactivated to the city. People are called, people are concerned, and hero activity has been bolstered from 20 to 95%. That put the fear of God into people, just as planned. Izuku finds the first point, the location of Shigaraki Tomura's bar, using his heat-seeking goggles. About 7 bogeys. None of them fit the outline of Katsuki Bakugo. I believe this situation calls for weapons spree. I believe. As Izuku drove up about into an alleyway right next to the bar. Not exactly there, but close enough to where he could grab something, throw it in, and get out. without that much of a threat of himself or others. So, what happened was simple and straightforward. Izuku calls for another operation to take place. Operation Snakes in the Grass. Code phrase Sigma. Activating 4 drones about the size of All Might, 8 feet tall, same build, but the dark arc arms and symbols of Hydra. Completely black chassis for the main body, and a neon sickly green for the tentacles, a crimson red Hydra insignia, and red eyes to boot. They all exit the back of the dumpster garbage truck, and they wait. Another hour passes. Izuku's phone is blowing up. Which is when Katsuki Bakugo gets let out of his marble state. Gets a bag placed over his head, held down and tied up. Down to a chair. Showtime. One of these machines each goes to each corner of the house. Well, sorry, not house, building. And, Izuku just opens the door, walks in, and takes a seat at the bar. As soon as that door opened, people weren't expecting anyone, so they turn, they see Izuku. They all freeze and hesitate. And Izuku sits at the bar, uses his dark arc tentacle to grab a scotch and pour himself a glass. Get some ice for it, too. What did I tell you, people? As he takes a sip, I will always find you. It will only take time. Moonfish, falling out of his stunned feel, launches his teeth towards Izuku. Izuku uses his tentacles to break through his teeth, grab him with his tentacles, and begin to smash his skull into the corner of a table, cracking his skull open and knocking him unconscious. And he says, "There's one. Any others?" And he's still looking at them, smiling, that innocent smile, and takes a sip of his scotch. Then a TV flickers on, and he says, "Oh, so you're the brat that sent my men running." Izuku has his left eye break eye contact from the rest of them and look at the television. Yes, I am. Now, do you know the interesting thing, all for one, about sheep? You could tell when one's different from the others. For example, a laser rings out, disintegrating the head of Tomura Shigaraki. Which then causes the fight to truly begin. And as they all snap out of the funk that they get, as their leader gets fucking glassed, the four walls gain holes in them. Now, to Katsuki's perspective, they only hear he's sleeping. As soon as Izuku walked in, they punched him in the face with the bag over his head, knocking him unconscious, making sure that he's gonna be night-night for a little while. Back to what's happening, however. Izuku proceeds to dismantle them. Korigiri attempts to open a portal to flee. As Korigiri goes to dive in, as well as with twice Dobby, Korigiri only gets halfway into the portal when a laser, about the same width and size of the portal, gets wrung out by one of the drones that busted through the wall, killing Korigiri instantaneously and causing severe burns on Dobby and twice. Izuku, not wasting any time, and neither will his drones, refuse to hesitate. Izuku proceeds to turn that entire higher room, except for Katsuki, to ash. There is nothing left of that room. Only the body of Scotch. And, one of All For One's cameras damaged, but still working. All For One is upset not only did the quirk just die, because it's dust. Shigaraki Tomura's body is ashes. He got animized. And like that, only the fake quirk still stands within the original All for One. Furious. Furious All for One uses a teleportation quirk that he had copied to get there thanks to his doctor. And then All for One immediately begins to fight Izuku, while Izuku grabs Katsuki and begins to leave. Now, the drones are doing swimmingly. They're doing their job to make certain that All for One is just distracted from the real target. As Izuku and Katsuki get thrown into the back of their truck and start slamming it down to the police station. The drones were truly no match for All for One. They were dispatched easily. All for One goes flying out, looking and seeing the tire tracks, and goes in hot pursuit. He will not let some child best him. So he begins teleporting rooftop to rooftop. Izuku presses a button on his car, pops another drone out in the driver's seat. Having the side door open, jumping out of the car and skittering away to the police station. Katsuki's skills still tied up, bound, gagged, bagged, and unconscious. All for One realizes that this was a loss. I will get to that boy later, as he had to retreat, being forced to upon realizing he's drawing too many eyes when it comes down to teleportation all around the city. He goes back to the bar, running in and starts looking around. But then he hears a beep as he looks at one of the mangled drone bodies, and the four of them detonate. Bringing the entire building down on All for One. He was able to get out in time, but to anyone else, that would have killed them. Izuku bursting into the police station and with zero abandon, not giving a fuck what's going on, begins explaining the situation. Not about him going there and hunting, about him being captured. And to make it real, this Izuku sure enough, did cause himself a substantial concussion, along with breaking one of his own ribs and causing some bruising, some burns. But other than that, he's fine. As the news picks this up more and more, people start to realize that this child should already have his license. The fuck are these people doing? He has saved 2 other students, the same fucking time, basically, and himself out of a situation. He explains where the villain's hideaway is, which has exploded. And Izuku says, "Holy shit, they weren't joking about the bombs." Izuku begins to explain how they threatened him if they do not comply, they will just blow the building up. And I wasn't having any of it. They were talking to us through, like, monitors and cameras and microphones and shit. So, Izuku basically weaving a tale and finding all of that equipment broken, but finding that equipment validating Izuku's claim because of All for One's bugs throughout the building, as well as the cameras undoubtedly in the building to watch the location. All of the cameras, however, and the memory for them were not held in this location. They don't know where it was held, sadly. Izuku and Katsuki's mother show up. Inko and Mitsuki show up, grab their kids, hug them, be all on that "we're so worried about you, baby." And meanwhile, in the Nomu facility, Himeki, Toga, and Compress are driving. They get there, and they hear a call on each of their phones. They open them up, and it's seemingly from their boss's boss. "We must go into hiding. Ditch Muscular in some random alleyway." And they're like, "Wait, why?" And it's like, "We do not need him. That, and I am certain that he has a tracker on him. Kill him and dump him in an alleyway." So they do as instructed. Kill him, dump him in an alleyway. And drive off. Once they get there, All for One explains exactly what fucking happened. Toga and Compress look fucking terrified. And I'm not going to lie to you. The entirety of the location that they are in now is another location given to them by All for One. It's not another bar, it's more of a little sewer lookout near the coast, but it's a nice spot. It's secure too. lot of little rat ways for us to escape. Izuku stopping his hunt there for now, putting on the ruse of a child that was just kidnapped, beat up, and same with his once enemy, now somewhat decent co-worker. But yes, Izuku getting even more fucking popularity on the news because people fucking seen him running away from the exploding building. Well, not in the car, but like from the general direction. It was kind of late. It was late, but like, cities have nightlives. People get up for night jobs, shit like that. But once it comes down to it, Izuku's gonna have to play sheep. Get nice and cozy. Relaxing. And begins construction on another set of Hydra drones that he could make. Different specifications because their information was sent to the cloud and sent back for battle data on All For One, what quirks he had used, all that shit. Now, All For One really just used super strength with them, other than one that was like a bit bulkier than the others. But he did have to use his wind blast once, and a bit of his flying. So Izuku got notices from float, airwalk, air pressure cannon, and his strength abilities. I'm like 90% positive he also has like a small, lesser regeneration quirk as well. So yes. So Izuku has made models with those quirks in mind to counter. He knows that there's All For One could most likely get new quirks and just not use those, but he seemed most comfortable with them. So, yeah. Gonna chill out for a while. Since the League of Villains got fucking decimated and 90% of their members killed, they're on a fucking recruiting drive again. And they're gonna try and bring Shisaki into the fold with Mr. Compress. Yes, and actually having the boogeyman himself there, which would change things fucking significantly. Which means, like, when Shisaki tries to pull that, how about you join the Yakuza? Because, when he says that, Shisaki kind of just loses his top half of his body. And, like, it kind of just gets completely fucked. Fucked by All For One. Just kind of, like, I'm gonna say that All For One has, like, a fairly decent fire quirk that just, like, allows him to spit, like, not spit fire, but, like, spew fire from his pores, or, like, specific pores on his skin. So, like, when All For One basically showed up in a wife beater, he was like, alright, I'm ready for shit to go sideways. And he basically walks up, about to shake his hand for saying, yeah, I'll join these, sock. The fucking yaks. Nope. Fucking entire fucking top half gets lit on fire. And Shisaki can't fucking, like, heal the top half of his body. Because that shit's all connected to his head. So, yeah. He kind of just fucking burnt to death. Yeah, sure, people did try to be on that fuck shit, but they all noticed pretty quickly, yeah, no, we ain't surviving this, Chief. So, All For One in this took over the Yakuza. Figured out Eri was there. Took her quirk and just let her go. Like, she is now no longer needed. She is like excess weight. So, yeah. He thought about turning her into a fucking Namu. Well, actually, hold on. Would he let her go? Or would he pull some shit, like, not some Shigaraki shit with her, too? No, because he doesn't even have the original quirk anymore, so he's kind of fucked. Yeah, no, he doesn't even have the original quirk, so he would just either turn her into a Nomu or let her go. I'm gonna say let her go because no children being hurt in this broadcast, no. But yeah, Izuku kinda running off. I mean, sorry, not Izuku, Eri. Kinda gets let out, get her mind wiped, and just kinda fuck out of here. Leave. All For One not really giving a fuck. Wait, hold on. Is Eri's quirk a mutation? Can All For One take mutation quirks? I'm gonna go check that. Be right back. I need a fact check. Yeah, no, my argument was irrelevant. He can take mutation quirks, so that's neat. That's a pretty neato burrito. But yeah, when it comes down to it, yeah, he just lets Eri off after taking a quirk, just and starts reverting his body. Starts thinking. Realizes that, oh, fuck, if I only had his ashes, I could bring him back. Fuck. Like, he's upset. And he's kind of like, if that kid only didn't blow up the fucking building, I could have gotten my quirk back. Son of a bitch. Like, and he realizes, I could just do it in broad daylight. They only quarantined it off. It's still like, it's only been 2 days. It's only quarantined off. They're not gonna fucking do anything with it yet, so. Fuck it, let's do it. And basically what he ended up doing was reverting parts of the building and finding Shisaki could only really remanifest his arm and took the quirk from his dead body. So, yeah, he did end up having to re-break shit, which would cause some alarm. But like I said, he has Korigiri's teleportation quirk back now, so that's neat. He's more on the lines, still trying to figure out how in the fuck are we going to get this fucking kid? Because, like, he's bestowing quirks to low-level members of the Yakuza and giving all of their notes on quirks to Dr. Yujiko, which would then bolster his research, therefore, like, heavily increasing the high-end Nomu schematics. And since Overhaul really didn't get to fucking do any of the, hey, we have Trigger. Night Eye's not on his ass. And All Might's not retired. So yeah. That's some shit. So, around this time, it's the like, actual exams. So, like, what do I mean by the actual exam? It's gonna be like, I think it's their final exams? Fuck, I'm gonna have to look this up again. Fuck, I'm just really jumping the gun on this, ain't I? Son of a bitch. So, since All Might, like, yeah, sure, like, they still have Trigger. I'm specifically talking about, like, now All For One and them now have Trigger, which is really bad. Which, then combining with Dr. Yujiko, is trying to make a better version that will last much longer. And, let's just say when it comes down to it, Izuku literally just wants to make sure that his people, well, not Izuku, All For One's trying to make sure now that everything does not fuck up, so he's not going to do anything else. So villain activity decreases heavily because Trigger's not being dispersed. And things start to settle the fuck down. Eri gets found by some random dude. It would take to an orphanage and all that shit. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do Eri fucked up. I can't. It hurts too much if I do. But, yeah. When it comes down to it, All For One is just scheming how he's gonna get this fucking kid. Like, you don't understand. Yeah, sure, like, the dorms are now active, but he's still trying to figure out who the fuck is this kid? Like, where is he? Where is his parents? Parents, I want his mother and father strung up by their own intestines, like, in front of UA by 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, and he is pissed because he almost fucked him raw. Just basically gave him the shittiest end of the stick entirely. So, granted, he gained much stronger people and a lot more influence, but people who are in the underworld, like some accounts that some people own that, like, I don't know, like, get some information from now and again, because Izuku's not getting his shit legally. No, not at all. He lies to his parents and says, oh yeah, no, I made this. So legit, 90% of the stuff Izuku does get is off the black market. So, Izuku realizes, okay, so literally 2 days after I destroy cripple the fuck out of an entire organization, one is under new management. Yeah, I think I know whose that is. Okay, so target in sight, Yakuza. Time to continue my hunt. Izuku trying to figure out where their base of operations is. But, during the meantime, classes end. And, something very interesting happens. When it comes down to it, the fight with Mirio happens. And technically, Izuku could still see him for a fair distance, even when he's underground. And Izuku, being the type of person that he is, he doesn't flinch. So that I'm gonna poke your eyes out shit does not work with him. So when he tries that and actually tries to levy a punch at Izuku, he gets grabbed and his back of his head just get fucking slammed into the floor and thrown through a wall. Well, not through a wall, but just into it. Fucking him up. Like he's not okay. Hey, granted, like, Mirio could take some fucking punishment. So, like, he gets up, he shrugs, and then he's like, fucking hell. Hell, and he sinks back into the ground. As soon as, like, a Tesla laser just fires at him. And from Izuku, non-lethal one. So, and the fight kind of just proceeds to go on, to be an all honest recommendation. Like, Mirio doesn't win, but it's like more of a draw. Because, like, they can't land heavy hits on each other. Which is, like, pissing off Izuku. Like, actually getting him super fucking mad. Because he has fucking trained for years and has worked on these tentacles for fucking years. And he's getting done like this? So, one time when Mirio actually is able to land a hit on Izuku, Izuku just fucking slams him. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay. He gets that Mirako treatment. But worse. Like, very clearly, like, people in the stands could tell, like, okay, Izuku's getting pissed. Like, and both of them are starting to get a bit upset. Because Mirio kind of came into this thinking, I'll just take out the quirkless kid first. So, like, after he took everyone out except for Izuku. It was kinda some shit. But Izuku's just still standing there. And when he gets hit in the face, it was more of a graze on his cheek. He tried to punch him and it grazed off the side of his face. And, Izuku grabbed him with all 8 of his arms. Well, technically 10 because he's putting his own strength into this as well. And just fucking slams him into the floor, leaving a Mirio-shaped hole in it. Mirio went through the floor, but not before getting fucking slammed like that. Mirio, pops out of the floor, 10 feet away, like nose broken, fucking, like, he is in pain. And Izuku just looks at him, all of the arms raise up and just start firing. Because dude is concussed at the moment. Mirio is concussed as fuck. Like, he can't concentrate on anything right now. His entire fucking worldview got rocked. So, like, he gets shot with, like, 60 beams. Well, not beams, but, like, 60 shots of, like, tasers, which fucking hurt. Which make him, like, instinctually become, like, intangible, fall through the floor, come back up. Like, I want to say, he's about 10 feet in the air now. Now, he takes this opportunity to breathe and regather himself of when he doesn't see Izuku where he once was. And since he took a breath, he fucked up so bad. Because Izuku used the tentacles to jump up, wrap his arms with 4 on each arm, and Hulk smashed his ass into the ground. Granted, he went through the fucking floor again, but, like, Izuku's starting to land hits. And these hits are, like, fucking nasty, too. Mr. Aizawa, I'm gonna say, for shits and giggles, because, like, Small Mate is there, pretending to be, like, a different teacher. Like, just, like, a slight, a dude with an intelligence quirk. That's basically what he is, like a Clark Kent. But anyway. But, like, he's watching this, and he's watching how fucking, like, nasty Izuku's being. Like, and it's weird, because he's fucking jiving with it. Because how, like, granted, he's not giving him any time to breathe, literally. He's not giving him a chance, like, at all. Not one bit. Like, the most thing that Mirio can do is, like, go through, like, hitting the floor. But when Izuku's, like, the thing that is fucking astonishing is that Izuku's, like, after the first couple minutes, Izuku did get hit a little bit, but, like, now Izuku's starting to dog him like a motherfucker. Mirko, why the fuck do I keep calling him Mirko? He is not a fucking ebony woman. Oh my god. But anyway, more importantly, Mirio is getting his shit rocked. Like, he's not having a good time at all. And, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Mirio is one of those people that just doesn't give up easy. So this goes on for a little bit longer than it was supposed to, until, like, Izuku actually had enough of his shit. Because, like, he realizes, he can't breathe when he's on the floor. Noted. So he basically makes his right arm the focal point. Which means 4 tentacles come off of his left, basically leaving his left arm completely, just, like, base strength. With his right arm, with his already kind of bullshit strength, plus 8 Doc Ock tentacles wrapped around, enhancing it. And when Mirio flies up to punch him, like actually punch him and becomes physical, he can actually see now. And he realized how bad of a fucking idea this was. As he gets slammed into the ground by this arm about 3 times his size. Just fucking into the ground. Mirio is unconscious. Izuku's a little bit bruised, but all in all, he's fine. He, like, gets off, and he looks around with that same smile that he had the entire fight, and he was like, that was fun. And he's like, he's fucking annoying to fight though, Jesus. Jesus, that shit got me fucking angry. Like, everyone's kind of surprised that A, Izuku won, and B, the Mirio fucking did what he did. He gets sent to Recovery Girl. Like, everyone kind of got sent to the nurse's office that was involved with that sparring match. Even Izuku, because, like, turns out Mirio broke 2 ribs of Izuku's. They weren't puncturing his lung, but they were close. They were, like, real close. Like, one more hit to his left side would have sent 2 ribs into his lungs. Which, he didn't even show the fact that he was injured either. Which scared everyone involved. But, yeah, I'm gonna say since this was an hour, I'm gonna kind of breeze through the, Izuku just goes with Mirko again. Like, getting ready for his, like, final exams. Just getting pumped. So, yeah. Have a nice day. All that good